Well, right, because when we talk about that, the most recent phenomenon that happened was the Bigfoot video from Colorado. Have you seen this thing?
No, I actually have never really delved into the Bigfoot allegations. I actually don't know anything about it.
Right. There's a video of a so-called Bigfoot in Colorado. There's going to be sightings of the Loch Ness Monster. Someone claimed they finally got a picture. But, ultimately, like, for example, when I had Neil deGrasse Tyson on my show,
Mm-hmm.
and, he's a renowned astrophysicist and so forth. He has, his take on various things. When I asked him about aliens, he said, look, ultimately, when you look at the world, most people have a high definition camera phone in their pocket that they carry everywhere. This was not true in the 90s. It wasn't true any time before then. But now, most humans have a 4K or at least 1080p camera everywhere they go. And yet you have not seen any sort of video that has been released that beyond a shadow of a doubt says this is either an extraterrestrial being or a spaceship. You said, you're telling me there's an alien in front of your airplane and the best you could do is a fuzzy monochromatic tic-tac? And it's in our atmosphere, it's there, and the plane can see it? Really? Not only that, but there's 6 billion smartphones in the world, last time I checked, and each phone can take high-resolution photographs and video. If a kitten jumps from the table to the back of the couch and falls, it goes viral. Do you think if anyone has a video of an alien, it wouldn't go viral? Nowadays, you can stream what your phone sees. If an alien is taking you into a flying saucer, you can stream that. In the era of the smartphone, there's no such video.
That's right.
So basically, you're saying that all these UFO sightings, none of them are actual extraterrestrial alien objects.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if you want to declare that, the evidence is insufficient to convince someone who's an authentic skeptic. You want it to be an alien. That'd be extraordinary if it's an alien. But it's a light doing things in the sky that you can't explain.
Everything that comes out is always fuzzy and weird. Like I said, that Las Vegas video, I sat there, watched it, and they're claiming that these giant aliens in the background. I didn't see it. How do you explain that?
Because what he's saying is a lie. I mean, he hasn't looked at the evidence. There is an enormous number of very high quality photograph, video of these objects and craft. And also the military has acknowledged they have them and there are more in their collection. So for him to say that would indicate to me that he's actually carrying water for people trying to advance the cover-up. Anyone who would just read the book Disclosure or Unacknowledged that has all these accounts and images and photographs and government documents, no one can look at that evidence that has been put on a silver platter. So someone who is allegedly a scientist to make a statement like that just means that he's either completely closed-minded and brainwashed or is knowingly lying to the public. There's only two choices there because the evidence is there. Now, if you haven't looked at the evidence, then you can have an opinion, but it's not a valid and informed opinion. So as Senator Daniel Patrick Moynihan famously said, everyone is entitled to their own opinion, but not to their own set of facts. So we have abundant numbers of photos and videos and of all of that. And let's not forget that the best quality material is very rapidly taken into these covert programs, and you're not going to take that out of a SCIF, a covert facility. You can't take a piece of paper out of one of those facilities. You take nothing in and you leave with nothing. I know, I've been in these places. So, you're not taking anything in. So, and it's not as if these ET vehicles and beings are landing willy-nilly, just saying, hi, how you doing? So to the extent that we have any evidence in the public domain is really quite extraordinary, but there's plenty of it. We have an excellent photo. For example, the Costa Rican government gave me the original negative from a survey plane of surveying the countryside near Lake Arenal in the volcano. And underneath is this seamless ET disc coming up. And I have the negative. I published the photograph. The Vancouver Island daytime photograph of a seamless disc, analyzed. It was done before there could be deep fakes. We have a lot of this. So for him to say that doesn't exist is it's a canard. It's false.
Well, in June of this year, a lawyer came out and claimed that his client had witnessed a UFO that distorted space and time. So the story goes like this. I guess they had found some sort of object and they used a bulldozer to pull it out. When it came out, it looked like a pie slice. They didn't want to destroy it, so they had one of the guys go into it. And I guess on the outside, it was relatively small, but when he got inside, it was the size of a football stadium.
That's right. Yep.
He started to freak out. He started to feel nauseous. Because on the outside, it was only 30 feet in diameter with a football field on the inside. He came out after a couple of minutes, but from the outside, it was like he was in there for 4 hours. And they claim that this is a time distortion, a space distortion piece of technology.
It is.
Are you familiar with this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. I know a number of people who have been in special operations where they've had that experience with these objects. In fact, one of our retrieval team members who was north of Area 51 in a remote base maybe a decade ago, they had targeted and stunned a fairly large ET craft that came down. It did not disintegrate. It was intact, but stunned. There were 2 man-made triangular anti-gravs in the air, and this member was flown in on helicopters with Delta Force people to retrieve this. This object actually came back to life, as it were, and he had an encounter with 2 of the occupants. But this object, once it got operational, the man-made UAPs took off because they knew that we need to get out of here. But all the helicopters and all the men on the Delta Force and these other workers were instantly there was a time-space snap where they were teleported back over 100 miles to their helicopter base, their helo base. And I have heard of absolutely, that technology is real, and it's understood, actually, by classified science researchers.